Welcome to Chamber Live. I'm Greg DeRoche, President and CEO of the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be keeping you up to date all through the issues of the day with respects to COVID-19 and how business is reacting, and more importantly, what the government's coming out to assist business. And I'm joined by a great member of our chamber, been around for, well, as long as I can remember, but I'm getting older and I can't remember that long, but
15 years.
15 years ago, Mike
Last
Jennings
month.
from MoreSALES walked into the door of the Chamber of Commerce and said, I'm here and I'm going to build my small business, and I'm going to do it on the backbone of the Chamber of Commerce, which he has done.
Yep.
Mike, thanks a million for coming in.
My pleasure. Great to see you.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
Thanks for inviting me.
And what always amazes me about you, good times, bad times, you always got that great smile on your
Thank you.
face.
Yep,
And
yep.
Speaking of your face,
Yeah.
though, I'm not sure whether you just haven't been able to run out to a store to shave, but I noticed you brought your protective gear in here, and I just wondered how well does the mask seal around the fur on your face?
Yeah, well, the mask I haven't really had to use yet, thankfully, and but I just brought it along kind of as a little gag prop here. But so for all you that are watching, make sure we use our hand sanitizer and our masks if you're not feeling well. But yeah, no, it's I just decided on the day before March break when I came out of my hockey game an hour later thinking we were going to Florida, and got back from hockey. My wife goes, they've got a travel advisory on. We're not going anywhere.
I think we talked about that. That was the worst hour of your life.
Worst hour of my life. Yeah. After coming off a nice game of hockey.
And that's too bad because you have a place down in Florida and you just purchased it and you haven't spent a minute there.
My wife got down there about 2 weeks after she retired, and she's been down there a couple of times, but I haven't seen the place yet. Paid for it, but I haven't seen it yet. So so the idea of the beard was kind of a protest. Like, okay, I'm gonna do like the hockey players do for their playoffs, and I'm going to start growing a Covember beard. And well, as you know, I used to be the president of Cambridge North Rotary Club.
Yep.
And we had to cancel the superhero run this year, unfortunately, because of the COVID thing. So I thought, okay, well, I have a lot of colleagues and friends and family that always support me on that, and the money goes to Kids Ability. So instead, I'll just grow a Covember beard in March, and then shave it off when this whole Covember thing ends, and then get some people to donate towards that, and we'll put the money back to Kids Ability that way. So
it's all about community, and you're always been a community champion. It doesn't matter what it is. Sure. I know from the Chamber's perspective, you've really helped out the Chamber with a lot of our learning network programs. You come in and give us a hand to make sure that people get the right information. What we'd like to do today is I'd like to get them some right information or some information. You run a small business with very few employees. You're a sole proprietor, which presents some of its challenges with some of the government initiatives that are out. But Mike, what are you hearing from your clients? Because you're in the marketing business and you advise companies of all sizes on what to do, when to do, and how to do. But what are you hearing from them right now? What are their primary concerns?
That's a great question. So there's a lot of vulnerability out there. This is happening so fast. I mean, things just changed today. I mean, we heard another initiative come out from the Prime Minister today at 11 o'clock about giving us $40,000 in loans and giving us 75% of wage subsidies, which is great. Because we have a staff of about 8, and so those wage subsidies will go a long way. Rather than having to cut people back or cut them back, you'll be able to.
Well, smarter to let us deal with that rather than unemployment deal with that, right?
And it's a less hassle too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what our team needs, and I like to think we know what our clients need. So if we don't have to cut back or cut back as deeply, that's terrific. So what I've been hearing is just a lot of vulnerability, a little bit of panic, a little bit of trying to understand what's going on in the market. And I think the biggest challenge is that people, the whole fear with people is that they just don't know when this is going to end. The lack of knowledge. If you could say, in 6 weeks from now exactly, this is when it's all over, then you could do a work back and you could see what's going on. But people just don't know.
It's not a skill set an entrepreneur has
No.
to guess.
No.
We like to strategically design how our cash flow projections, things like that, the business vulnerability markers coming along down the road. it's impossible to do that
No,
today.
no,
So,
and you know, like a control freaks, if us entrepreneurs are all
yeah,
control
I know,
freaks,
I
right?
know,
So
I
it's
know
like-
you are.
so-
So,
so-
as a, you know, because you got this big smile on your
Yeah,
face,
yeah,
and it's,
yeah.
you know, there's a lot out there that don't have that big
Well,
smile, and
try
I
to-
know it hurts
Try to
inside.
take a positive.
I know it
yeah.
hurts inside, but so keeping positive. What what advice can you give some of your colleagues out
Yeah.
there that are watching this?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what can we be thinking about at this point, or preparing, or
Yeah.
doing to give it, because we're in charge. You're in charge
Yeah.
of
yeah.
a business.
Yeah, yeah.
You
yeah.
have to make the decisions to protect that business, because
Yeah.
at the end of this,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to make sure that the business is still there.
Absolutely, and I think the first thing that, you know, like typically everybody tells you, from your investment person to everybody,
Yep.
says don't panic, right?
Right.
Like try not to panic, because it's sure easy to panic. And God knows when I got back from hockey that day, I was like, what? We're not going anywhere, and you know, the zombies are coming, and you know, what do we do now,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you know, we had to, you know, I think you have to take a deep breath, and you have to, you know, take all the information in. But what can you do initially to, you know, get through the first kind of week or two of this?
Yep.
I think once we're kind of through the first week or two, and it becomes a little bit of a habit and a little bit of, you know, a little bit of understanding of what's going on, I think the initial shock will wear off. But I think really what you've got to do is, first of all, look at what's going on. What is the government able to offer you? A lot of stuff's not going to kick in until April, which is next week, which is good. But you know, just take a deep breath. We know that's coming. But also take a chance to take a step back and look at what your business has been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just to, you know our company's MoreSALES.ca. Sorry for the plug,
No,
but
that's
we're
okay.
we're a digital marketing firm, and what we've been doing with a lot of our clients is they've all been talking about, you know, what do we do? You know, how do we get through this? What adjustments do we make? And so we've been talking to customers about pivoting their marketing. So typically we might be doing a bunch of campaigns, like doing video marketing
Right.
and that kind of stuff. Well, we can't do that right now. We
Yep.
can't go out and do video marketing. But what we can do is look at their content on their site. We can look at their websites themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What's out there? Is their website clear? You know, we remember our friend Andy
Yeah,
Stanley,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So at the LeaderCast event,
Yes.
talked about clarity is absolutely king. So is your website clear? Does it clearly tell your customers who you are, what you do, why you should buy from me? And then what are you going to do when things come to an end on this whole COVID thing? So it's going to last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we don't know. But in sometime in May, we hope
Yep.
this is all, the veil's going to lift and
Yep.
things will start getting back to normal. Well, what are you going to do when that happens? Are you going to be prepared to take advantage of that
Right.
pent-up demand? Because there is going to be a lot of pent-up demand. People are going to want to start getting back to normal as soon
Yep.
as possible, right? And so how do you take advantage of that? So again, do you have a content strategy on your website? Do you have the good content that will attract traffic and bring it to your website?
Yep.
Do you have any do you have strategy for that? If you don't, get that in place. We can help with that if that's what we're talking to our clients about doing. But also things like what else can be on the site now that isn't there now. For example, some of our clients have always been building their relationships on a handshake.
Yep.
and doing business face to face.
Yep.
Well, maybe it's time to think about doing some e-commerce, or at
Right,
least putting
yeah.
your products on a catalog online.
Well,
you know?
exactly. If you're a non-essential business,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you can't sell online.
Exactly.
It's just your physical. You can't go to your physical business.
Exactly.
You can't let customers come into your physical
Yeah.
business. But there's no reason why you can't be doing it online.
No, and what a lot of our clients sell product. Now, some of them sell big stuff, like they might be a manufacturer of
Right,
a
yeah.
fabricator. They're not going to put some stuff like that online.
No.
But
You're not going to
companies-
sell a 10-ton press.
No,
on
exactly.
the internet.
Babcock and Wilcox isn't going to
Yeah.
be selling equipment online. But the small companies that, like a lot of our clients are distributors or small
Yep.
manufacturers, they've got a catalog of products,
Right.
and you can get that online. It's very simple to
Yep.
get that online. Some of our clients have catalogs that are already online, but they're not selling online. They're
Right.
not using e-commerce to any kind of measure. So we're helping them do that, getting that e-commerce, getting that going so they can sell
Yeah.
online. And now with the government offering a $40,000 loan, geez,
Interest-free for a year.
Interest-free for a year.
And possibly
some of it forgivable.
some of it forgivable.
So if that's the case, great. Now that could go a long way
Yeah,
on helping you getting your message out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not just now, but moving forward. But the other thing to remember is that, and I hate to sound negative here, but there's no guarantee this isn't going to have a second wave. That's what people
No,
kind of
exactly,
hear.
yep.
And so, not that we might go this deep again, but you I keep reminding everybody this is a self-imposed recession.
Yeah.
And this could have to be self-imposed again if
Yes.
people don't follow
Yep.
the guidelines. And in 6 to 8 months or a year from now, we might find in the winter again there's another round of it coming back. Maybe not as bad, but there's another. And then what are you going to do then? Are you going to fall into dark times again? No. There's times that now you can take advantage of this, take advantage of the money that government's offering, and be prepared. Be disaster readiness.
How about the other thing? I'm kind of self-centered when it comes to Cambridge businesses.
Of course, that's your job, man.
I know.
What are we paying you for?
I know, but I'm kind of normally self-centered around Cambridge anyway, because I live here, and I like to go out and have dinner with my wife at the restaurants here.
That's what I'm missing the most. And going to movies with my son my son and wife. Oh, we do that every Friday.
I love to support our small businesses that are in our community, and I think everybody should be doing that. I understand that there's some things that you can't get here. But how important is it now for you as a small business owner to send the message out to everybody to say, start looking inward? Can you find a supplier here?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even our own company, we have suppliers that are around the country. Because the one blessing, just to backstop for a second, the one blessing we've had is that we've for many years been a virtual company in the sense that we have an office and the team comes into the office, but they've always been set up to work remotely because we work long hours for our clients. We work in the evenings, weekends, so we've always been able to work remotely. So it hasn't been a big cultural shift for us to do that. But what we're also finding is that our suppliers around the country, we're keeping in touch with them. Because it's fine to keep, everybody's instinctively wanting to look after their customers, but what about your suppliers? Right? Because for example, we have video team that we work with. They're right here in Cambridge. We work with those guys. We keep in touch with them. Our writers, our content writers, all those kind of people that are not next door. But I don't see them face to face, but we're reaching out to them and keeping in touch with them, and you have to support them, and especially the ones that are here in Cambridge. Like if you have your choice between a company that you're doing with out west, all due respect, and you can deal with the same company here in Cambridge, support your local companies first, because they're going to be hurting, and those are the people you're going to see every day. Like I said, I used to be president of the Cambridge North Rotary Club, and I deal with those people every day. We see them every day, and if we don't support each other, it was the hardest thing to do, not to have a Rotary meeting every Wednesday for the last 2-3 weeks, and ongoing, right? So you can't see those people face to face, but just reach out to them, send them a text. Hey, what's going on? Everything okay? Don't send out just a blanket email saying, we're keeping an eye on things and we love you. Like, that's okay. You got to do that too. But reach out to them. Pick up your phone and send them a text or call them or talk to them. And just
There's no question about it. Keeping in touch with customers, suppliers, friends, service club members.
For sure.
We still have to build a community.
Exactly.
We still have a community that we all depend on. And it's so important that we start looking inward a little bit and seeing where we can deal locally, where we can help locally.
And that's interesting you say that word, because that's the one thing I've been saying out to everybody. How can I help? Like just thinking my suppliers, friends, colleagues, customers, obviously, my staff, my team. How can I help? What can I do? Is there anything I can do? And you'd be amazed at what people will ask you for. You know what? There is something you could do. Could you do this for me? Could we shift this? Could we think about that? How about that? What are you doing here? They just want to talk. Like some of my customers are super busy people. I've had longer conversations with them this week than I've had with them in 2 years, because they're like, someone will have a conversation with me. They're not all panic. It's just someone just trying to lend some positive support to them and just kind of keep them moving forward. That's really
it's interesting. We're finding that with the chamber too. As we send out broadcast emails, all of a sudden my email inbox starts to fill up with questions, and phone starts to ring, but that's okay. We're here to help. You're here to help your customers. Everybody out there is there to help their customers as well. I think it's really important we come together and we make sure that we do what we can to help each other.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, and there will be an end of this day, we want to make sure we're as ready as we possibly can for a robust economy. And it's just, I love the positive attitude that you have, Mike. I know it's tough for you. It's tough for your family. It's tough for your employees' families. But, somehow or another, we'll figure this out. And we'll get back to business.
One of the things I do want to say as far as help too. So on our website, MoreSALES.ca, there's a blog button. If you want to go there, click on that. There's a COVID survival guide on there right now that we put out about a week or so ago. It's about a 3-page blog, and we're adding to that. We just had a meeting yesterday, so we had a very long, hour-long strategy meeting on content and how we can help entrepreneurs and companies get through this. And so we're going to be adding to that next week. There's one already in development right now. That'll be added on Monday or Tuesday of next week. and we'll be doing a whole series of COVID and getting through challenging times, because it's not just COVID, there's always going to be challenging times, right? So we're going to be putting a whole bunch of series of stuff there. So there's lots of stuff on there now, but there's lots more. So go to MoreSALES.ca in our blog section, and you'll see a whole bunch of resources for entrepreneurs and companies.
That's awesome.
Just download it. Yeah.
And go to the Chamber YouTube channel and subscribe to us so you can be updated on all of these videos and my conversations with business individuals in our community and healthcare professionals and everybody else. So thanks very much, Mike.
My pleasure, buddy. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thanks a lot.